Hey guys, CPT SMASH here, bringing you another home workout edition. So last one we kind of went over some of the challenges with working out at home. Right now we're going to be talking about working out efficiently at home with the space you have. So now this is a challenging thing for a lot of people because like gyms are great because you got a lot of room, you got a lot of space, and you got a lot of equipment. In this consideration at home, sometimes you don't have a lot of space and you generally don't have a lot of equipment. Now, we're gonna start with the small spaces first. You have minimal space. So say you have an area that's like 5 by 5, it's like in the middle of your living room. You're gonna need to select equipment that you can get a lot of stuff done, that you have a couple decent pieces of equipment, but are very easy to store away. So the couple things that comes to mind are kettlebells. You can get a really good workout with just a heavy bell and a light bell, and you can just do single arm stuff. You can do clean and presses, snatches, overhead press, skull crushers, all sorts of things with that light bell for the upper body, push-ups off of the bell, rowing actions, single arm, and then you use the heavier bell for your leg stuff, sumo deadlifts, swings, goblet squats, stuff like that, front-loaded lunges. So buy yourself one heavier bell, like an example of a heavy bell for an adult male weighing 165 pounds would probably be like a 40, and then a lighter bell for a male would probably be a 20 pounder, or if you're a female type, maybe a 30 pounder for the legs, and then a 15 pounder for the upper body as a good start. Set of adjustable dumbbells would be a good one. So now, I always recommend getting the block style dumbbells for these just because they save a lot of space. You can pack them in and put them in a closet. They're easy to do. You can buy the whole thing, but then you only have like 5 by 5 foot space, and now you got a whole bunch of clunky dumbbells in your living room. So way easier to get the adjustable versions, the block style, or now they have the Bowflex ones with the twisties are okay. I find them to be really too clunky. Even some of the power block varieties are a little clunky, but they're great options for having home gym. The other thing you're gonna want is gonna be a physio ball. Type of physio ball there. That's like a really nice one because you can do leg on it, core on it, you can brace up and do some presses on it, or use it for rowing actions. So very versatile piece of equipment. You can deflate it in between uses. I don't know why you'd want to, but it's a small space-saving apparatus that you can do. Get yourself some mini bands and some larger bands. That would be useful. So we'll check different types of bands. Bands are probably the go-to for most people right now, just because you got a big bunch of elastic bands. You put them in a bag and put them in your closet somewhere, and then pull them out when you're ready to exercise. I find that the mini bands are nice for leg stuff, and doing any type of glute work. And then you want the slightly larger bands for any sort of overhead work or pulling type actions. Those ones with the handles, I like them, but they're only so good. And really, having an attachment point for things like bands is the most important. So having a really firm doorway or another fixture in your house that is really stable, and you're not gonna rip that out of the wall or off of the stairway banister is useful. So having a fixed point that you can kind of attach stuff to is really important when you have some bands. A TRX, one of the best small gym setup things. Great for all of your rowing type motions, some presses, abdominal work. You can use it for legs. If you can find a decent anchor point for it, a lot of people will just put it right into one of their ceiling rafters. Just make sure that your joist can handle it. Those are the ones that I would recommend for a 5 by 5 small space. Maybe some med balls, a yoga mat. So I'm a little cautious saying med balls because most oftentimes, what are you gonna do with a med ball? A little ab exercises, little twisty things, maybe some circular things, but I mean, I'm talking about equipment that you can get the most stuff done for your buck. And in a small space, kettlebells are my number one thing. They're adjustable dumbbells, a couple bands, and a physio ball, TRX strap if you have a place to attach it to. And go 5x5, and you can do a full workout with that. Now, moving on, a 10x10 room, you can get pretty well set up if you've got a full room that you can dedicate to exercise. So just clear that sucker out, throw in there a squat rack with a little bit of and I would recommend getting like a half rack. So a half rack is just gonna be like, you've got the base and you've got 2 stands on either side with an optional pull-up station. Make sure you get the pull-up variety and make sure you get one that will fit with your ceiling. If you have low ceilings, that may not be an option. You might have to get a smaller size or even squat stands. Squat stands are a good variation for this. The disadvantage of having just a squat stand is you can't really pull up off the squat stand unless you're really, really short. So half rack is more optimal. Generally have to have at least an 8-foot ceiling for most half racks to fit in your facility or to fit in your room. But then you can use that as an anchor point for all your bands. You can do pull-ups off of it. You can do your bench press. You can do squats. You can deadlift outside of it in the minimal space. Get some rubber mats down there so you can deadlift off the floor and you're good to go. And just get your regular old barbell set. Make sure you have a decent barbell, and depending on how aggressive you are with the loading, get like 300 pounds in weights, couple 45s, pair of quarters, couple pairs of 10s, couple pairs of 5s, and some collars, and you're off to the races. You can do just about anything with that. A small adjustable bench. Benches are kind of tricky. Could go with a flat bench, but you can only do so many things on a flat bench. If you get one of the adjustable benches, sometimes adjustable benches feel weird. So best recommendation, get a commercial bench if you're gonna set this up for a home workout scenario, and make sure it can go decline and incline, and it's easy to take up and down. If you get one that's really clunky and hard to maneuver around, it's gonna be hard to get a really good, efficient home workout. So ideally you could get 2, but cost effectiveness, like 10x10 room, just get an adjustable bench that can go decline and incline, and it's easy to maneuver. Don't get it with all the bells and whistles on the bottom and the foot plates. Just get one with a little handle that you can pick up. It's got an easy pin lever release that pulls up and down. It gets you a good decline, gets you a good incline. That way you can do your shoulders, you can do your chest. You can also use it for various rowing exercises, and it's easy just to slide out of the way when you're doing your squats and your deadlifts. Super easy. Same other things apply. Get yourself a TRX strap. You can apply that right in there so you can do some rows. Be advised, if it's a half rack, you probably want to put that stable on the floor. So either throw some heavy dumbbells or heavy sandbags on top of it, or just screw it right into your floor. If you're in your basement, punch that right into the concrete with a hammer drill, and I can't remember what they're called, but there's a variation of a concrete screw that you can insert right in there, and it stabilizes your whole thing, and it's not going to move. Also a bad thing if you're ever going to take away that room, but at least you'll be stable while you're doing your pulls. Also, adjustable dumbbells. You're gonna want those too, and your bands. So it's gonna be a little bit more spendy, but you're gonna have a way better quality of workout in a 10x10 space. Now, let's get into the garage gym. Now, there are so many cool stuff that you can do in your garage gym. And if you're really apt to work out hard, best advice is, okay, so I need a full power rack, which you can do almost everything on. You're gonna need a good barbell set. You get your adjustable dumbbells. Now, you probably are able to get like a whole collection of dumbbells from 5-pounders to 100 or whatever you're gonna be using, or you can just go with your adjustables if you wanna save space for other sorts of equipment. Now, it's really nice in a garage gym to have enough room to maneuver and do some other stuff versus just being trapped in your 5x5 or 10x10 space. So having enough room is everything. So if you have a garage, it's set up well, it's got a nice overhead ceiling, you can hang some rings from there, or your TRX straps, you've got your power cage. You could typically get a power cage for under a really nice one for about $2,000. And that sucker is not moving. It's got plate loaded storage facilities there for you. You can slap your plates right on, very efficient. You get your adjustable bench in there. Then you can think about, okay, what other stuff can I throw in here? Nice glute ham raise is always great to have to do some posterior chain work and hamstring work. You can also think about getting a adjustable cable stack in on a corner. It really depends on how you have your garage set up. Maybe you want to do a little bit more conditioning type work, so you get a rower and you can fold that up on the wall, or a assault bike that you can do some hard sprints on. Definitely recommend getting a landmine attachment, either for your rack or for the floor, and then just some extra mats in case you're dropping weights around. And you're pretty much good to go with that. I mean, like, if you've got the space, like garage gyms, like just set that up just like you would your gym and all the stuff that you put in it. So the only downside to a garage gym is you probably don't have all the fluffy machines that you really want at your commercial gym. But just remember, those are really all just fluffy stuff. Like, the basics of your workout is pretty much going to be the same. And I know this is true. When Kenny and I train, it's like we go to a big powerlifting gym that we go to in town, and it's amazing, but we end up doing the same stuff that we do in the lab. So, like, you know, stick with your basic stuff. So when you're working out at home, you're going to get 80% of the results from that stuff. 10 to 20% is all the little fluffy stuff that you do. Like, if you're really into bodybuilding, maybe you should consider getting, you know, a hammer strength pull down machine, or a pec deck fly, or whatnot, whatever floats your boat, leg extension and leg curls. You can always do other exercises for that type of stuff, and it's just as beneficial. Your body doesn't know what it is that you're doing to it. It's just resistance against the body, and that's what you're trying to put in to the workout. So hope you've enjoyed this little spiel on kind of how to maneuver around some of the small size spaces you may have to deal with, and also budgetary constraints. Like, you can get by with, you know, a couple $100s of equipment for a while and keep yourself motivated and doing the thing daily with just a very small budget. Or you can blow it all and make the best garage gym possible, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and please like the video. Well, I mean, of course, if you liked it. If you hated it, I don't care. Leave me some hate mail. That's always fun. So thanks so much. Captain Smash out, and I'll chat with you later.